Good morning, good morning. Back in the fair, back in the fair. ETM Hotel, Rennie Sean. Welcome in peace. My name is Sean. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into this episode of Science with Sean on the Go. Yeah, man. Go ahead and hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Click the bell for notifications. You never know when I'm going to pop up on the scene. Good morning to all the YouTube world. Everybody in the chat, what's good? What's going on? Like the show, share the show. We crack a lacking bright and early. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jama Mboka. Alafia. Yeah, yeah. Let's get it cracking. What the hell is Pure Black doing up early this morning, ladies and gentlemen? There is a California sighting in the chat room. It is 6 a.m. Cali time. And the brother is up and at it. Have you been to sleep? Yep. Cali is in the building. 6 a.m. Wake up. They must be in that California morning traffic, ladies and gentlemen. Man, hit that like button, man. Good morning, Nunu. What's up with you? You just switched up. You done put a whole new profile on there. Okay. What's good? What's good? Come on, man. Come on in the building, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to give a few more people a little time to get on in here. I know it's early in the morning and they ain't used to it. We're going to kick some science today. Not a lot. We're going to keep it short, sweet, to the point. And we're going to talk about it. So for the people who are listening to this on the replay, I appreciate you catching the replay. Don't forget to like the show and share the show, please. Be kind enough to actually do that. Support the channel. As we're trying to educate and inform, we're trying to be scientific in our endeavors. I am about a few minutes away from actually physically stopping from driving. So I'm going to wait until I get to this little minute and a half spot, and then we're going to get it cracking. So, I need to concentrate on the actual road. I am a defensive driver. Safety's first. And yeah, so we want to make that happen. So good morning. Sister Benita was good. I already know I told you happy birthday, but belated birthday again for people who don't know. Sister Benita had a birthday. You know what I'm saying? So birthday shout out to the sister right there, man. If you hadn't got your copy of what SARS-CoV-2 taught me, get that, get that, get that. There shouldn't be nobody in the chat that ain't got that work yet, man. I promise. Don't forget. Also, Friday, this Friday, 8:15 Central, 9:15 Eastern. I will be on Asar Imhotep's YouTube channel. We will be interviewing and talking and discussing what SARS-CoV-2 taught me. We'll get into the book and we're gonna break everything down and we're gonna go a little further. Peace, brother Lavelle. What's good with you? What's going on? How's your day going? Have you had your cup of coffee yet? Had you had your cup of coffee yet? Or your hot chocolate? Or your Sprite? Or your morning cup of water? Have you brushed your teeth? Gargle with Listerine? Huh? Have you done that? Have you washed the slob off your face? What up, Sid? What's good? What up, Enigma 9 by 9? What's going on, brother? What's going on? What's up? What's up? All right, so now I am in a position to where I actually can to dialogue. So I thank everybody for tuning in with me over the course of a couple of seconds. And I appreciate your patience. Again, if you're just catching the stream, please like the show, share the show. Let's get some more people in the building. Like Asar say, be ignorant with the like button. You know what I mean? We want to show up in the algorithms. We want the NFL to see this. We want Aaron Rodgers to see this. We want, you know what I'm saying, anti-vaxxers and the likings to see this, right? Um, and we want people who are looking to be more educated upon the situation to see this. Um, I know some people are probably already at work, and I get it. I understand. You can't watch it. Don't get fired behind this. But let me be brief. So the whole Aaron Rodgers debacle is not a shocker to me, as we knew coming into the NFL season that there was a large amount of NFL players that were on the ropes or on the fence regarding um, vaccinations. And a lot of that is because a lot of the NFL players live in a world of misinformation, which is readily accessible to them because they're followers and they're big media influences or influencers. And so like a lot of judgmental things come to them a lot quicker than it does the average person, meaning that when misinformation is spread, these athletes see this as well. And one thing about athletes or specifically pro athletes, are they're more hesitant to put certain things in their body, assuming that it's going to affect their performance. And so there's hesitation there. But also in their hesitation lies the list of ignorance. Our latest list of ignorance is Nick Chubb and the other Cleveland running back who fell victim to COVID, who ended up on the list. However, they're not saying anything. They're not, so it's not like a big blow up. But this goes back to the point of being vaccinated versus not being vaccinated, because the NFL handed out a policy. This policy to start the season, specifically speaking, and I'm gonna sum it up for y'all as I've read the NFL policy. The NFL policy states that vaccinated people would have to sit out 5 days, and then they would have to test and retest to make sure that that they had cleared the virus, right? The NFL has received information regarding vaccination versus unvaccination status, and how fast do vaccinated people clear the virus versus unvaccinated people. So they put a rule in place that would allow people to do several things. One, if you're unvaccinated and you catch COVID, that's automatic 10 days. If you're vaccinated and you catch COVID, you clear the virus faster, minimum 5 days. But after 3 days, you got a couple positive. I mean, if you got a couple negative tests or whatever, you back in the fold. Now, that was good news for the NFL. But behind that, they also had mandates. These mandates were that unvaccinated people must always address the media and other people in the facilities with wearing a mask. They would always have to wear a mask. In the case of the Green Bay Packers, it was evident that not only the star quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, but a receiver, I believe a receiver to be, was also fined for not following NFL protocol, right? Now, the fine for Aaron Rodgers was a measly $14,000. He makes millions of dollars, so that's the equivalent of $48 for someone who makes $70,000 a year. Shout out to my brother. Well, let me see. Everything is everything. If he's in here, or from West Africa, shoot, he got too many damn profiles. But for kicking that science, right? Breaking that down and complaining. Now, Chubb could very much so, Mongo, be vaccinated, but he wouldn't have to wait 10 days. If he has a 10-day, if he's on a COVID list for 10 days, he's either on a COVID list vaccinated or COVID list unvaccinated. If he's on the unvaccinated, he's 10 days. If he's on a vaccinated, few days, he has to test, retest, make sure he cleared the virus. He's good to go. The NFL did get relaxed with their policies. So back to what I'm saying, and then I'll try to address some of the things in the actual chat, and we'll build on it, and we'll go from there. But Aaron Rodgers went on a podcast with a friend of his and began to address his well, not really address, but respond to the criticism that he had faced regarding his vaccination status and putting his team in jeopardy of losing games, right? This is the risk of not being vaccinated. You're potentially putting your organization in a situation to where you're a playoff contending team, you're fighting for number one seed in your conference, and all of a sudden your vaccination status harms your team. And this was a big deal, not because he was unvaccinated and he made it clear that he was unvaccinated. It was because he was unvaccinated and he made comments as if he was immunized, in his words. So, ladies and gentlemen, what does the word immunize mean? Does anyone in the chat have the time to tell me what the word immunize means? Because we're listening to Aaron Rodgers, a public figure, millions of followers, and everyone is under the impression that the word immunize means that he would be vaccinated, that he would have had some type of vaccination against this virus. This is what he said. So when he comes up and he's unvaccinated, right? When the news breaks that he's not vaccinated, he has not had a vaccine. He then says, well, I've been immunized. I've had ivermectin. I've had some health treatments with my healthcare provider. I've taken all the necessary precautions that the NFL has put in place as far as the guidelines are concerned to keep myself off or out of danger or harm's way. He says, the reason that I didn't get the new vaccines is because I'm allergic to some of the I'm allergic to the ingredients. He says the only one that I would be up for is the Johnson and Johnson, but I didn't get the Johnson and Johnson because I was a little leery of the side effects. These are the things that he said on the podcast. But initially, he had led people to believe that he was vaccinated. He used the word, "I've been immunized." How the hell have you been immunized if you've never had a vaccine? Yeah. After testing positive for COVID, the bro took ivermectin, my guy. He took ivermectin, my guy. And then he went on his whole spiel about nothing. I think the podcast maybe 45 minutes to an hour, maybe a little longer than that. I don't know. I didn't want to listen to any of that wholeheartedly. You know what I mean? You get the sound bites and things like that. Now, by the way, I actually have some sources in the description of this particular video that people can actually go and retrieve and catch themselves up to this whole debacle if you're unfamiliar with the situation. But I'm bringing everyone up to speed as we build. So Aaron Rodgers makes the plea initially that he was immunized, and then later he contracts COVID, which I think he's had it before, right? Because think about this. If you've had the verbiage that Aaron Rodgers uses in his podcast is very much so misinformation and disinformation. And then he cops the plea to say, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. See, those are the misinformation, disinformation, anti-vaccine campaign talking points. This is an actual fact. And here's why I said he's had it before, because he's under the impression that he's caught it before and no one knew that he's caught it before. He has some type of protection against reinfection. He used the word immunized as to say potentially that he's had shots, but he's never said that he had a shot. And even in the podcast, he made the assumption that I never said that I got a vaccine. I said I've been immunized. So that means you've been infected before, my guy. You took ivermectin, and then you thought that because you've been infected before and had an asymptomatic response, that you developed some type of protection against reinfection. Oh, no, 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 my brother. That is not how viruses work. That is specifically not how COVID-19 work. Or my bad, SARS-CoV-2 works. See, this virus is different. It's unlike any other coronavirus. This is what we've learned in what SARS-CoV-2 taught me, is this virus is not like MERS. It's not like SARS-CoV-1. No, 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 no. This ain't just a respiratory virus, my guy, Aaron Rodgers. This is more than a respiratory. This is your brain. This is your toes. This is your fingers. This is your heart. This is your lungs, your kidneys, your liver, your veins, your blood flow, gangrene. This is erectile dysfunction, loss of taste and smell. I can go on and on. There's 210 symptoms that can be caused by COVID-19. The average person experiences 55 of the 210 symptoms. My guy. See? This is why I say the verbiage is very anti-vax. This is why I said that he's had this before, because he said I was immunized, which means instead of him saying, well, I've had COVID before, I have some type of a protection against reinfection. But he doesn't know the science behind SARS-CoV-2, because SARS-CoV-2 ain't the average coronavirus. This is why SARS-CoV-2 has killed more people. Well, let me rephrase it. This is why COVID-19, the disease, has killed more people than the Spanish flu. This is why COVID-19 has killed more people than AIDS. And it's only been around for less than 2 years, going on 2 years. Here, we're going on 2 years. We're approaching the 2-year mark. It's killed more people than the Spanish flu. It's killed more people than AIDS. Walk with me. I understand that this is your quarterback, and I get it. I understand. But when he used the words immunized, he is out of his mind. When he used the words, I'm allergic to mRNA vaccines, how in the hell, my brother? How do you know you're allergic to the ingredients? Which ingredient that you're allergic to? Because if we go look at Johnson & Johnson, the vaccine that you say that you are not allergic to, a second generation vaccine, you got to show me which has more ingredients. You got to show me which mRNA ingredient are you allergic to. Are you allergic to the salts, the fats, the sugars? Huh, Aaron? It can't be the lipid nanoparticle capsule, because guess what? They've been using that since a long time, my guy. It can't be the messenger, because your body's never seen the messenger before unless you've been infected, right? The messenger is synthetic. It's not the virus. So your body's never seen it. So you couldn't be allergic to that. When you're hit with the messenger creates the defense. It trains the immune system. You go into a protective response mode, and therefore you start to gain some type of protection to fight this novel virus that's unseen, Aaron Rodgers. So he's been on a save face campaign the last couple of days, and it's been laughable because he said all of these things initially, then it comes out that he's unvaccinated, and then he goes on to, the cleanup mess, and then he apologizes and says, well, I apologize to the people who may have thought that I've been vaccinated. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. However, I'm just allergic to the mRNA vaccines, and Johnson & Johnson, I'm scared of the side effects, and all this other horse crap. You're costing your team. So if you're a Green Bay Packers fan and that is your quarterback, you are now on the clock because you just lost a game, a very important game, and it's potentially, they say he comes back Saturday. If he tests out, he has to test out. If he doesn't test out, he can't come back until he tests negative. Multiple tests have to be negative. He comes back. Let's say he comes back. And then a few weeks later, we get into December, we get close to the playoffs, and he contracts it again. He misses the damn playoffs again. What happens, Green Bay Packers? You throw somebody who's not really ready in the game. The game is too big for Love at this juncture in his life. It's too fast, too big. He ain't got enough game action in. He's unprepared, and really, he just need more work. He just need more work. He's not the future. He's not a right now guy. He's not like these other guys that's going out there and they're making throws. The game did come to him a little late in the game, but by that time it was late. But whatever. You're now on the clock. Aaron Rodgers. Cam Newton got the vaccine. He been infected, twice, I think. And he in hot Atlanta, where Corona was just riding around people like it wasn't no thing, and everybody act like wasn't no virus outside. Ain't no telling how many times people done got sick down there. But Aaron Rodgers clearly messed this all the way up. And then he doubled down with his ignorance. So now there's this whole thought process. So today, not really today, but yesterday, it's published today, but yesterday, in the Milwaukee News cycle, there's a tweet that's being shared by a doctor regarding Aaron Rodgers. And this doctor is a Packers fan, and she attends the Packers games, and she's put him on blast. Now, the reason she's putting him on blast is because he's spreading misinformation, for one. For two, this dude says that he has severed ties with a healthcare agency that he blames for saying that he's been immunized. He put the blame on somebody else and then says, I'm cutting ties with this healthcare agency because they informed me that I've been immunized. No, my guy, you informed yourself that you've been immunized. Ain't no healthcare agency out here telling you to go take some ivermectin, my guy. What healthcare company is pushing ivermectin? You have insane people on the Capitol that might be saying some stuff about it. You don't have qualified doctors pushing ivermectin. You had a section of people that was pushing ivermectin last year hard until the science came out. When the science came out and it was refuted, people backed off of it. Now you only got crazies that's stuck on that. So you sever ties with the healthcare so-called healthcare agency to save face, and now you're looking stupid. Your cleanup is not working. I don't know if you have what are those people called, man, to help all these celebrities with their information? I can't think of it right now. I'm stuck on science right now. What is it called? Those people, those media type people, they train you and get you ready for the media and all that. Yeah, horse dewormer. The thing about ivermectin is people don't know how much of ivermectin you need, so they're taking those horse pills. And then those who are getting those other prescriptions of ivermectin, you don't know the dose usage. There's no dose usage that can prevent the spread of infection. There's no dose usage that can treat COVID. This is craziness. Publicists, there you go. Bam. My people rocking with me. The P word. I don't know who Aaron Rodgers' publicist is, if he has one or if he doesn't have one, but his PR team has failed flat for him. And if I'm State Farm and you're promoting and pushing vaccinations, I'm getting rid of Aaron Rodgers. But what you did was, State Farm, you come out and says everyone has this right bull crap, similar to Dungy, Tony Dungy, Coach Tony Dungy, who I respect. And as a black man, an educated black man, and a head coach who's won a Super Bowl, you know dang on well, Tony Dungy, that this brother should have been vaccinated, for one, and you didn't want to say it live on the media. Two, you know dang on well that he ain't got a choice during a public health crisis, and he's playing in front of 60 and 70,000 people every week. And the virus travels. The virus particles travel. It will submerge a football field. It will get in the facilities. It will be spread and passed around. The virus is undetectable in its early stages. Aaron was not wearing masks. He was not vaccinated. He claimed to be immunized. These are issues. This is an issue. And this is caused by misinformation, disinformation. What's the relevancy here? In my research that was put forth in my book, What SARS-CoV-2 Taught Me, it talks about these things, ladies and gentlemen. It talks about these things. It educates people. It helps us learn and advance the conversation so that we know how to make an informed decision that's best for our family and friends, and to protect our assets, our business investments. If I'm an NFL owner, I need to make sure that all my people are really vaccinated. I need you on board with this because I don't need you costing me games. And I don't need you, right? I don't need you slipping, falling, and can't get up. I can't stand to have you miss 2 games. I need you following all precautions. And Aaron Rodgers just simply did not do that. No matter what anyone says, he can't fix this. So the doctor comes out, she bangs wholeheartedly on your boy, wholeheartedly, no way around it. She banging so hard on the boy that she's got 4 tweets, screenshots. If you look in the description of this particular video, you can pull it up and you can read what she's saying. She is banging hard on Aaron Rodgers, and that's her quarterback. She is a Green Bay Packer. She is from Wisconsin. She is all into that. This is what I mean. Aaron Rodgers is one of the reasons why I wrote the book. He's one of the motivating factors, not specifically saying Aaron Rodgers, but the people with the mindset and the mind frame of Aaron Rodgers. Those people are the reasons why I put the book together, so that everybody could learn, so that everybody could know more, so that everybody could have the actual data, so that everybody can look at who's making these claims and why they're making these assertions and what does the evidence say. All of that. So yeah, you're going to see clinical trials in the book. You're going to see misinformation and the leaders of those misinformation campaigns. You're going to understand what viruses are and how viruses behave and act. You're going to understand what vaccine science is and how vaccine science has worked. You're going to go through a portion of your immune system, learning about the immune system and what type of responses are what. You're going to learn all of these things. You're going to learn how the virus attacks the body. These are all the things that a layman needs to know. They don't have to be freaking scientists. You don't have to be microbiologists. You don't have to be virologists or immunologists. But we introduce you to experts in this text that will help you clearly understand, and we try to give it to you on both levels, the lay and then the scientific. Because the information has to bridge gaps. So doctors who have patients should be able to take my book and sit it out in front of them, and a patient can grab the book and say, what is this? And then the doctor can say, just look at it a little bit and tell me what you think about that. Because the book is clearly telling you what SARS-CoV-2 taught me, but it might also be something that it may have taught you, or that you can learn from my experiences, in my research, and in my fact finding, and in my collection of data. There's no way in hell, ladies and gentlemen, that Aaron Rodgers should have missed last week's game. And here's why. Because had he been vaccinated, he just would have missed the work week, the preparation week, which he could have did from a Zoom call. He could have been prepared. Then he could have had his 2 negative tests, and then he could have been right back out there on Sunday to play the game and not miss the beat. Not miss the beat. He's a professional. So there's certain things at this time of his career that he ain't got to do that other people got to do for him to be ready. I wrote the book for people like Aaron Rodgers, who are misinformed, misguided, don't know what viruses are, how they behave, know you have an immune system, but don't know how your immune system protects or doesn't protect you against novel viruses. And then the way the virus behaves in the body, and then all the misinformation and where it's coming from. Because, like Kyrie, right? Says he's still doing research. Well, Kyrie, my book is for you. Why is my book for you? Because I've did the research for you, Kyrie. All your questions and answers, comments and concerns are in what SARS-CoV-2 taught me, Kyrie. They're there. There it goes. Get the book. Get the book. Don't just get it. Get the book and read the book. Learn from the book. I will say this, in the news of epidemiology, cases in some areas have slowed. Deaths have, I'm not going to say declined, but deaths have like met a threshold. But we are entering the winter months, so we don't really know if we'll see a spike or whatever the behaviors and the responses are to that to deal with that. So we got to be careful during this time period because we could see a spike. But that's just here in America. But in the UK, ladies and gentlemen, COVID is spiking again in the UK. That is a telltale sign for us in America that we're not around the corner yet, because the UK thought that they were around the corner, right? Russia thought they were around the corner, but COVID has surged and emerged again. This is why we have to have a higher portion of the population vaccinated. And I haven't really been doing many shows as of lately. And one of the reasons that I haven't been because I've been distracted with other subject matters. But the information is kind of slowing down as we were seeing things go. But now I'm paying more attention to not virology, right? Because the basics of virology helps us understand viruses and how they behave. But it's more so now with immunology at this juncture of the pandemic, because we need to know how the vaccine's working and things of that nature, but also epidemiology, because epidemiologists are tracking spreads, breakthroughs, they're tracking cases. You know what I'm saying? They're doing all of these things. So it's in the other two fields. Virology has now turned over everything that we needed to know from it to immunologists, and epidemiologists. So those are pretty much now the vocal points. So my study habits are now in those fields. Although I'm still studying viruses, I will tell you that. And that stuff hard. When you start breaking that stuff down all the way down, that stuff hard. It's complicated. But we don't need to know everything right now. It's a process. That's why you go to school for 4 years, especially with that subject matter. But I wanted to talk about the Aaron Rodgers debacle because it primarily fits right into the book. Like all of his talking points, his excuses that he made, his beliefs, his assumptions, his understanding of certain things, all of that is in the book. When you say that you've been immunized, brother, you have not. That is a lie. When you said that you were not lying, you did lie because you told people that you were immunized. Immunized means vaccinated. You were never vaccinated. So you either had been infected before and thought that you had some type of protection against reinfection, and you didn't. And you took ivermectin. You was familiar with that. And then you fired this so-called healthcare agency that supposedly was working with you in regards to this whole treatment thing. And then there lies a problem, because the people that you're surrounded with, you make millions of dollars. These people could properly educate you on the subject matter to make sure that you're well aware of why you needed to be vaccinated. And then you hide it, you hid your status, and then it comes out, and then you're all up in the roar. You're on an apologist tour now. You're all over media news right now because of your misinformation, and you're spreading it. You're spreading misinformation. And doctors in Green Bay, in Wisconsin, who love you dearly, are calling you out. They're calling you out. Cam Newton received so much backlash, ladies and gentlemen, for not wanting to get the vaccine and catching COVID again for a second time. And he ended up losing his job, only to later on go get vaccinated because he wanted to play the game again. And then you got quarterbacks that's hurt out there, and you got teams that's on the fence about it because now you wanted to make the decision. Had you already got vaccinated, Cam, you would have still been with New England. We wouldn't even see Mac Jones right now. You would have never lost time. Mac Jones would have never been thrusted into the spotlight. We would have never seen the advancement of Mac Jones. It would be you wrecking shop with the Patriots, but it's not. Now Aaron Rodgers is in this situation, and the Love is the backup quarterback. And what happens? You lose a football game that was very winnable for you, but you don't have the quarterback to make the plays to help you win the game because he can't make the plays right now. He ain't seen no game action. He's not prepared. He wasn't prepared. He wasn't ready. He got thrusted into the fire, and he wasn't ready. Now, if he has to play again this week, I expect him to play a little bit better than he did last week because he's got it under him now. This is why this is a problem. Now, for the Baltimore Ravens, your quarterback has caught COVID twice. His name is Lamar Jackson. He can catch COVID again, ladies and gentlemen. He would be the first NFL player to have caught COVID 3 times. If he didn't develop any, well, we know he didn't develop any type of immunity because he was reinfected with the stuff again. So he catches it again, you're in trouble because you don't have a sustainable quarterback to help you get through. He is the bulk of it because he is leading your team, throwing the ball and rushing the ball. He's having an MVP season again. Yet and still, he's going to cost you games. And he's going to do it because of misinformation and disinformation, and he still hasn't went to go get vaccinated. Hey man, Kenan, I'm sorry, I mean, that we went on the science, but we back, bro. We on the science. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the last time, the book, What SARS-CoV-2 Taught Me, is a manual. It is a learning tool. It is the right thing in the moment, in the middle of a pandemic, for athletes, especially athletes who said they still doing research, for family members who say they still doing research or they're waiting on full authorization, for friends who continue to spread COVID misinformation that doesn't line up with the sciences and the information has already been refuted, for people who think that I already caught COVID, I don't need no vaccine. It's for all of these people. It's for every character and every walk of life on this planet Earth. The book can be purchased overseas. Ashley Fitz was the first person that I know in the UK with the book. In the UK with the book, ladies and gentlemen. Purchase the book. Get the book. The link is in the description of the book, and it's also in the chat. If you're listening right now, you don't have the book. It is the greatest lifesaver that you can have. Exactly. And guess what? Look, we don't even know the long-term effects of COVID-19 and how it behaves on people's bodies long-term because they're still studying that. We know about long COVID. Absolutely, we do. But we don't know what are the long-term implications. All we got was people pump faking and telling us uh we don't know the side effects of the vaccine. Nah, we don't know the long-term effects of the infection that you just caught, my guy. We don't know if you'll develop some type of respiratory issue, heart issue, because that is happening now. These people with long COVID have developed memory loss and all kinds of things. Let's say Lamar Jackson in the middle of a game calls a play, forget what the hell he called, runs the wrong play, and he gets sacked and he tears his knee up or something. It's a wrap. And then he comes out and says, I forgot what I called. Not to wish it on him, I'm just saying, hypothetically, it's football. Stuff happens all the time. We know the long-term effects of a vaccine, right? We do. We should know if you're going to develop. No, I'm saying that wrong. We would know in the first 45 days after your last shot if you're going to develop any type of long-term issues. That we know. That we know. For sure. That we know. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Aaron Rodgers debacle is a clear-cut case of what inspired me to write the book and why this book is relevant and prevalent in these times, especially for athletes across the board, for family members and friends who have no idea about viruses, the immune system, and such. Like all of that. All of that, y'all. I ain't even playing with it right now. All of that. The book is a teaching tool that could help save someone's life. We still have people dying from a preventable disease. We still have COVID cases. Children are now the vocal point of some of the severity of these cases. And people, no, not just children, but people in their 30s that are less than 50 years old. Let me go back to the science. The science says people that are less than 54 years of age. The people above 54 years of age are highly vaccinated. But the people less than 50, especially in that under 35 range, are people who carry the are most prone to the misinformation, disinformation. So as we continue to work and move the discussion forward, this is how science works. This is the science. We are hearing less conspiracy theories now than we did before authorization and back then. I haven't been hearing too many new issues from anti-vaxxers. Now it's about, see, we told you that you're going to need a booster shot. But when the science came out, Pfizer needed a booster because Pfizer's dosage was lower than Moderna's. Moderna didn't need a booster. However, they authorized it for use for people, the elderly people and immunocompromised. Somebody like me, somebody like you, Lavelle, Bonita, and all of those who've had Moderna, specifically speaking, who are not frontline workers, y'all don't need a booster shot. Why? Because the vaccine is still protecting against hospitalization and deaths at that 99 or 90, that 98% or 97% clip. It's still doing it. Still doing it. You developed a better protection. Listen, when they designed the vaccine was designed to recognize the spike of the coronavirus. To prevent that, natural infection does not recognize the spike. This is how you get reinfected. The spike on a virus is not recognized from natural infection, meaning that when you encounter the virus again, which you will, you're twice as likely to be reinfected. You don't have any defense mechanism against the spike. But those of us who've been vaccinated with mRNA vaccine or mRNA and Johnson & Johnson, those vaccines train the immune system to recognize the spike. Oh, I've seen this before. Let me get this out of here. Oh, I'm gonna be able to clear the virus a little bit faster than before. Oh, my risk of hospitalizations and deaths have decreased because I'm vaccinated. I might have them little baby symptoms. Okay, cool. There ain't no thing. That's if I experience a breakthrough infection. But the breakthrough infections are higher in Johnson & Johnson and Pfizer than it is Moderna. No shade. But now with the Pfizer booster shot, efficacy has increased. But ladies and gentlemen, booster shots are designed to warn over a period of time. That very first vaccination is the measuring stick for how well the protection is working. This is why virologists and immunologists have said that we need to measure protection after a year. Guess what? In 2020, when they authorized the vaccine for emergency use, it was December 2020. It is November the 10th. We are a month away from when they very first authorized the vaccines. Guess what that's going to mean? That scientists can now measure protection. They can go do all of those studies on the people who've been vaccinated and ain't had a booster and find out if they still have some type of immunity or lasting immunity that doesn't necessarily warrant a booster shot, or if a booster shot would be required. We will have better information, better studies, better knowledge. So there's still going to be more things that we're going to talk about in the future. When those new results come out, because The people who are part of the phase 3 trials, they ended the phase 3 trials in November, and we got the data in December. Those people who were originally in those trials are now subject for more information, more studies. Let's bring those people back in. Let's talk to them. Let's see how they've been doing over the years since they had the vaccine. Let's see if they developed any symptoms. Let's see if whatever's going on, they got all that. We're going to get a whole new level of information coming out. That's why I said it may be a part 2 to what SARS-CoV-2 taught me. Outside of the fact of updating other information, the vocal point will now be in other areas if I decided to do that. Right, people like Robert Malone has faded away. But there's been people trying to revive Robert Malone. Miss Benita, you got two problems. Two. The first problem that you got specifically is your mother's religious beliefs. They affect her other levels of intelligence. That's just a fact. That's my brother right there. That's right. He switches whip up. So that's what you have, and that's what's going on, and that's the issue. But look, man, I'm about to get my hair cut, man. I didn't mean to be this long. I wanted to be about 30 minutes on this whole Aaron Rodgers thing, and we kind of went into a whole another direction with everything else that we got going on. And now, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Look at that. Don't come to Thanksgiving unless you got a vaccine. That's real. That's real. Shit. Get vaccinated, ladies and gentlemen. If you ain't been vaccinated, you need to go do that. And look, let me just keep it a buck with you, all the way a buck, all right? What SARS-CoV-2 is teaching y'all all kind of stuff. The book is out. Get the book. Rock with the book. All right? Peace out.